Hi, I'm Maximiliam Andersson and you're watching Drumshare News with Jarah Jane.
Hey there guys, welcome to Drumshare News. I have Maximiliam Andersson here with me today. Drummer, educator, YouTuber, did I forget something? Vater Artist. And I want to thank you for being here with me today on this 32nd episode of DSN. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
For being here. It's my pleasure. I would like to ask you a few questions. You are a teacher, and he's an awesome teacher, by the way. He has been my teacher for the last
2 years and some months. Yeah.
Yes, and yes, you guys want to see this episode for sure. I have some questions for him that you guys will probably want to hear the answers to. So here are a few questions. I wrote them down on my little paper here. So what was your educational path? I want to know. You started, he's from Sweden, so you started in Sweden.
Yeah.
Where did you end up? How did you do this? What's your educational path?
So drumming wise, I started playing drums when I was about 10 years old. Picked it up because I thought it was fun making noise, and I had a little bit of problems concentrating, so my parents thought it was a good idea that I play drums. When I got into middle school, my brother and I started playing in bands together, writing music, and we played in bands until I moved here just 4 years ago. So I went through middle school as a drum student with a private drum instructor, and also playing marching band, things like that.
Okay.
Went into high school, where in Sweden you can focus on music, for instance. So I focused on drums and music and playing in high school, and then I went on to audio engineering for 3 years in another city. So I moved from home to study audio engineering. Actually moved in with my brother eventually, and we kept playing in a band, and I applied my audio engineering skills there. And then a few years after I finished my bachelor in audio engineering, I moved here to LA to study at Musicians Institute. So I spent 2013 and almost all of 2014 studying at Musicians Institute. And then since then I've been working at Musicians Institute, but I quit about three months ago, I think.
Months ago.
Yeah.
Actually, by the way, I just want to mention, I didn't mention, where are we? You guys want to know where we are? Where are we, Max?
Well, we're in the winter, and we have Detroit right behind us.
We have Detroit right behind us. We have that beautiful water and beautiful noises and sounds. I hope you guys are hearing us very well. So, I want to ask you, what was your main reason for being so serious in your education? Is it...
Well, I've always...
Or teaching is really that?
Yeah, in the beginning it was not for teaching. In the beginning I just loved to play music, and I really wanted to go touring and playing live. I had so much fun always playing with my brother and in different bands and other bands around that. A hired gun kind of guy. So when I did audio engineering, I already knew I wanted to do music, but I kind of took the audio engineering education because I wanted to apply it to my band. But once I finished that, for the 1.5 years between my audio engineering education and moving here to LA, or not here, but over there to LA, I spent 1.5 years working as a teacher assistant and substitute teacher in a middle school, and that made me really realize that I love teaching. And I kind of thought back on when I was young, and I used to teach people, help people in school, and kids around me always enjoyed explaining and things. So that's when I decided that I wanted to focus on teaching and drumming. So when I came to Musicians Institute, I already had in my mind that I wanted to teach. So I spent as much time as practicing. I spent that time studying all the teachers to see kind of how they taught other students.
Yeah.
So there's something great at Musicians Institute called open counseling, where you can go in and ask questions. So I went in there without any questions to ask, so I could listen to other students asking questions and how the teachers always replied.
Oh! Yeah.
So I would say since 2011, I know that I wanted to do teaching, drumming combined. Yeah.
And that's what he's doing. He's teaching.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta follow the path you want to do.
So that was like my next question. I was going to ask you, why teach? Why is it teaching? So kind of fits in.
When I was working in that school, I realized how much I love explaining things and helping someone get across that tricky hill of not understanding something and into then finally understanding it. Even if it takes re-explaining 15 times, that challenge of kind of problem solving, kind of same skill of re-explaining, making sure I can find a way that applies to the student. I found that challenge very fun, and I find the reward in someone else learning something being more rewarding than me learning.
Yeah, but you, what's I gonna say? Kind of got lost there. You have to be patient. Seriously, I mean, like we just had a lesson, and I've only had like a few hours sleep, and he's really getting some stuff in my head. But you have to be patient to keep re-explaining and re-explaining. Do you sometimes? This is maybe a little more personal question. Do you get? Do you take it badly or personally? Does it affect you when you, well, say you haven't been able to come across to a student? Does that affect you? Does it anger you? Does it make you sad? Does it?
Whenever I always feel like, as a teacher, if I can't get the student to understand, it's always my fault. So in that sense, I kind of feel like I just got to come up with more things, more ways to explaining things, and I just haven't cracked the code of how to teach you or teach a student something. So I don't really feel let down or anything. I just feel I think to myself, like, I have to figure something out to figure this out for you.
Yeah.
So it's never any anger or irritation or anything. It's more like I just gotta come up with more metaphors, or maybe you like math, so I gotta explain it with numbers, or how it applies to math, or maybe you're a visual person, so whatever applies.
So it's a challenge.
Yeah.
It's you seeing it probably as a challenge to, hey, I gotta figure this one out.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like almost like a goal, you know, you gotta get that down.
I feel like usually when you're within something you love, when you're doing something you love, you don't really have the frustration level at the same way that you would have if I tried to cook something and it falls apart on me.
Or if it was just a job.
Yeah, exactly. And in this case, it's my job, but it's my job of choice. I'm my own boss, and I choose to do it.
Yeah,
so.
well, when I say job, like, you know, you don't want to be there. Type of job that you don't want to be in. So this is something you choose. You want to be there.
Yeah. So no, it doesn't really exist.
What would you have done if you weren't a teacher?
So if I wasn't a teacher, I'd probably be playing drums. And if I didn't play drums, I'd probably be teaching something else. But I assume you're looking outside of that world.
Well, I'm looking at what if. Would you be a veterinarian? Which, you know what I mean? If you didn't play any instruments.
Probably something within computers, technology. I'm not sure what. I haven't really put much thought into it, but I'm not sure. Something sciencey or... Yeah.
I like that you say that you haven't put much thought into it, because it proves that you have a set goal, that music is your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I know a lot of people say, oh, it's good to have a second, just in case. But you're set to doing that.
Yeah, and I feel like you can have a focus on something very strict, but your backups can still be within the same area. Like, I can have my main focus at I want to teach drums, but my backup could be I want to teach, or I want to play drums, or I want to play in the studio, I want to tour. All of those things are kind of things to fall back on if your main focus doesn't work. But I don't think you should take it so far that if my super focus of drum teaching doesn't work, then I'm gonna become a radio host or something, because that's kind of far away from what I want to do.
Yeah, it's not the same.
So I like the idea of backups, and I think you know this as well with Drumshare News and drumming and everything you have going on outside of that. You have things to fall back on, and you always work on. You're not working on just one goal. You always have multiple things you're working on. So I think it's true in the sense that you need a backup plan, but maybe not outside of the world you want to be.
Yeah, like if you're a creative person, you're going to stay within the creative.
Yeah, exactly. world.
Yeah, I was looking aspect. What's the word? The world.
The world of creativity is where I'll
Yes,
say.
creativity. I have a few more questions too. How to reach you? You guys, if you want to take a lessons with Max, where do we reach you?
You can reach me at contact@max8drums.com. It's max8drums.com, short for Maximiliam Andersson drums, which no one would be able to spell. So contact@max8drums.com. You can go to max8drums.com, or you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, everywhere as /max8drums.
And Max gives lessons online. That's how I've been taking lessons with Max for the last 2.5 years or 2 years, whatever. Online Skype lessons. They're awesome. For sure, it's always awesome to be live. Live lessons are really good.
Fun too.
They are fun. They are fun.
And once I move to Sweden and get my situation there with the studio and things, I'm gonna up how many students I can take into. So really looking forward to that whole situation.
That's what I forgot to ask you. Yes, he's leaving. He's leaving. He's going. He's moving with his lovely wife, which I met earlier, Katie, the camera girl for all his awesome videos.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. They are moving back to Sweden. What in heck is going to happen when you get to Sweden? What are you doing?
So I have a job at the one music high school in a city there. So I'm gonna be working part-time at a high school as a drum instructor, and then I'll be working on building my own studio so I can teach from home and record, and maybe in the future do camps and clinics. It's in the future, but that's where I want to get to.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yes, awesome. Max prepared something for us. Thank you so much for preparing us a lesson. You guys got to stick around and check it out, because Max has a little lesson for you guys.
Caesar.
And I think it's a surprise. It's a surprise. He's got a surprise for us. Okay, guys. Love you guys. I will see you guys in another episode of Drum Share News. Love you. Bye.
Alright guys, so it's lesson time, and today we'll be dealing with the basic concept of spreading your roll across the cymbals in the drum set. So, we will be dealing with two simple 3-note sticking patterns. Right, left, left, and right, right, left. We'll be accenting the right in the right, left, left, and the left in the right, right, left. So I'll put up some notation for this, and let's see what we can do with it. Alright, so first off we have to internalize these two rhythms and get comfortable playing them over and over and mixing in between them. So we can do that on our legs if we don't have the drums in front of us. Just right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left. And then we have the other one, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left. Get comfortable speeding them up and also mixing in between them. So for instance, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right. And speeding it up. And then putting it on the snare drum. Alright, so that's step number 1. Okay, so once you're comfortable with those two patterns, it's time to add the bass drum. Alright, so adding the bass drum. We add the bass drum on every accent. So if we're accenting with the right hand, we add a bass drum to that, and when we're accenting with the left hand, we add an accent to that. So first off, we have to get comfortable with that. So for instance, and then we have the left hand accent. And then get comfortable mixing those up and speeding them up. Next step is to put our accents on the crashes. So right hand goes on the right crash, left hand goes on the left crash, and you can mix this up later as you want to, including the hi-hat and ride, but let's stick with that for now. So right hand becomes, and the left hand, and then again getting comfortable mixing them up and speeding it up. So etc. And then when you do it faster, it becomes really fun, and it's fun to improvise with, and it's kind of cool to play around with. Alright, and lastly we can add the same sticking patterns but remove the accents, so it's basically just a constant roll on the snare. So going in and out of that and mixing everything up creates some more interesting choices, so check this out. Alright, so by adding right, right, left and left, left, right without accents gives us more options to how we want to play our kind of melody. So instead of always having to go ba-dum, ba-dum, whenever we want to go from our left hand to our right hand, such as this, we can now go there without having that ba-dum kind of a rhythm. So for instance, instead of, so we have much more options here. So just get comfortable playing these two different sticking patterns with the two different accent patterns, and you have so much to play around with if you want to end the song or crash around and have some fun. And then just get comfortable playing it fast. So you could have something like this in the end. Alright, so thank you guys for being a part of this lesson. You can find me at maxidrums.com or any social media /maxidrums. Thank you, Jarah, for having me on Drumshare News, and I hope to see you all soon.